Welcome to the Strong Roots podcast. It's all about interviewing everyday, ordinary Christians who have strong roots of faith and then applying it to our own lives. Whether you are seeking, whether you're new to faith, or maybe you've been following Jesus for a really long time, come grow strong roots with us. Hey Strong Roots, I'm here with Susie, and we are in our life hack season. And today we're talking about finding your quiet space. And Susie is one of those women who you probably meet her and you know that she spends time with God, that she has a good quiet space and that she puts him first. So I personally am so excited to ask her these questions and for all of us to learn from you, to see what God's done in your life and to hopefully create more of a habit. Maybe you've never created a quiet space. So I hope this is inspiring to people because it makes the biggest difference, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. It sure does.
Yeah. So what do you actually do in your quiet space, Susie?
Well, first thing, we think of quiet space, we think quiet. So my quiet space has to be quiet just because there's so many distractions.
Yep.
And noise. No noise, no music, just quiet because that's when we can hear God's voice, right?
Right.
So first thing in the morning, I'll get up and go find my quiet space, which is usually in the living room.
Yeah.
Before the kids get up. And I just spend time in the Word, do my devotions and prayer.
Yeah.
And I even do this before I drink coffee. It's just kind of it's just my little way of sacrificing just a tiny, tiny bit, just to give it to the Lord and help focus on Him versus enjoying that cup of coffee, So
have you always done that?
No.
I was like, wow.
No, but probably the last couple of years, yeah.
Wow. Was that just a prompting or how did you even think to do that?
I was convicted, it's just been a while ago. I can't exactly remember when, but, I would pray, Lord, I surrender myself to you daily. That's a daily prayer.
Yeah.
And just, I give myself to you, yada, yada, yada. And then in the morning, I would check social media first or,
right.
The news, especially during election,
right.
Whatever it is, just I would do that first. And the Lord really convicted me, like, I'm not giving you my first, So that kind of snowballed from there. And, if I'm going to do this, I'm just going to give him my first and everything before I take that drink of coffee. I know it sounds this tiny, minute thing, but it's kind of a measurable way that I can give him my all.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Because it is. It's saying, because even that time that it takes to make a cup of coffee, like you are not, and not that you can't, but I love that God personally convicted you to even give that time to Him, the first, your first fruits. Oh, that's good. So what are your best tips and tricks for finding a quiet space to spend time with Jesus?
So finding a quiet space, I think it's kind of hard, especially for moms, we have kids and but like I said before, that conviction that I had really helped me to focus on that and be able to do it.
Yeah.
And even if it's, 5 to 10 minutes, moms with young kids, I know that's hard, but try to do it before they get up.
Yep.
And if they do get up early, sometimes they'll trickle in and I used to be like, oh, you're ruining my quiet space, But, I just soften my heart on that and I let them know this is mom's quiet time and they can see I'm reading the Bible. They know. Yep. And if, the younger ones, they know to be quiet, they can come snuggle up with me, but they can be quiet,
Yes.
Jesus left thousands to find his quiet space.
Yeah.
And, but we feel guilty for leaving the kids 5-10 minutes to find that quiet space. So we shouldn't feel guilty.
Right.
We need it. So 5-10 minutes. Sometimes, our only quiet space is in the bathroom.
Right.
Shower time.
Yeah.
Listening to devotions on your phone in the shower time.
Oh, yeah.
I love doing that.
Oh, yeah.
Even if I still had my devotion time in the morning,
yeah,
I can do that in the shower. We're kind of in our most vulnerable state in the shower.
Mm-hmm.
And for, obvious reasons. But it just kind of helps us focus on Him those are the times to cry out to him,
Yes.
Even through the tears, if you're crying out to him, and it's like, the shower's going to wash them all away and I'll be good, when I get out. But it's just, I think everyone has a quiet space. They might not know it, but if they're willing to, they'll be able to find it.
Oh, yeah. That's so true. I love that shower comment. I really do feel like I've had some of my most intimate conversations with God in the shower.
Right.
Yeah. Because you do feel like you can be most vulnerable. Like you can cry. Yeah. And no one's there.
Right.
Just you and Jesus.
Right. Yeah. It's just kind of a special time. That sounds weird, but it is.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh, and I love playing a devotional while you're in. Like, why not?
Right.
What a great time.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really good. So, Susie, how has a quiet place impacted your relationship with Jesus? What have been the benefits?
Oh, well, I've become closer to him. Obviously, you spend that time with him, you're going to get closer to him.
Yeah.
Draw nearer to him. I think that's, our ultimate goal is to draw near to him. So definitely puts things in perspective in the morning. And that would be another tip too. The morning, I think, is the best time.
It is.
Kind of like what I said before. You talk about first. You give him the first of everything. That's the first thing. That's a new day. That's the first. To give that to him.
Agree.
And you're clear. Your mind's clear. And then in the evening, I wouldn't say doing a devotion or reading the Bible. There's nothing wrong with that. Doing it in the evening. That's a great time to go to bed with scripture on your mind.
Yeah.
But if that's I think it should be in addition to that morning.
Agree.
First.
Yep.
Because that's our leftovers at nighttime.
It's
just like we got everything in our minds, and it's kind of like giving him our leftovers. So, but like I said, there's nothing wrong with it.
Yep.
But in addition to that morning time.
I agree.
But yeah, I just feel mentally more focused.
Oh yeah.
Just I'm less impatient. I'm more patient.
Yeah.
I could always use more patience, but
who couldn't? Yeah.
But definitely more patient.
Yeah.
Just feel that sense of peace and joy.
Yeah.
Even if the day is chaotic, like we had with the wedding. It's just like so much stuff going on, and I had to give him my first in that, and I'm so glad I did. Even though that day was so crazy, it was beautiful, but just a major difference.
Yeah.
Mentally, and sometimes that can lead to physical difference too.
Yeah.
We just feel more worn down, but yeah.
Have you found, and maybe this is just a me thing, but when I sleep through my alarm to read my Bible, I feel like I actually feel more tired that day than if I would have gotten up. Mm-hmm. Why? Do you feel that way too?
Oh yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody said, like, you push that snooze and you think, like, oh, I need more rest. It's like, you will feel most rested when you have that time with God and rest in his presence.
Right.
I was like,
instead of snooze for 10 more minutes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, but that is a physical side effect, I feel like.
That is true. Yep.
So what are the consequences you've experienced from not having a quiet space?
All the opposites of what I just said. I mean, I feel very unsettled.
Yes.
Sometimes I feel guilty and convicted, you know, and just shorter with the kids.
Yeah.
It just kind of sets your whole day off in the wrong direction, and too, I don't think of him as much throughout the day if I didn't give him my first in the morning. Yeah.
Why? You may not have an answer to that, but why is that?
Yeah, I think when we focus on him first thing in the morning, it just changes our whole mindset.
Yeah.
Into him. It's like he's first right here, and we don't have that. He's not up in there. Yeah. We might think about him throughout the day, but nothing like when we devote our time to him in the morning.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's so, and I don't know, when you said that, it goes to, this is a horrible analogy, but like when you eat breakfast, when you have a good meal, like you're satisfied the rest of the, like till lunch or whenever, but if you skip it, like there's this hunger that you're like, oh man, I missed out on something really good.
Right.
You know? And like, I feel like it's almost that knowing, like you're not as spiritually filled. And just this knowing like, man, I missed out on something really good. I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it till my next meal. I'm going to make it till I get time, quiet space with God. But it's that like grumbling of like, oh, I feel I'm more empty.
Yep. That is so true. Yeah.
And it's like, why miss out on a good, why miss out on good things?
Right. Right. I know.
But we do it.
We do. It's so silly.
Isn't it? So, Susie, what would you give or advise someone who is struggling to use their quiet space? Like maybe somebody who has never even done it. And they're like, you started saying quiet space and that was foreign to me. Like, what would you say to that person?
I think if they could commit to just doing it for 7 days.
Yes.
5-10 minutes in the morning. 7 days. Just spending time in the Word, doing a devotion, praying. It's not that long.
Yeah.
But if they could commit to that, and then after those 7 days, they see the contrast between those 7 days and all the days prior to that.
Yeah.
And, and as believers, too, I think we really need to dig deep in why we're not going to give Him our first in the morning.
Right.
Yes. Why is that? Why are we not willing to do that?
Yes.
Kind of hits hard.
Yes.
We have some soul searching to do
Absolutely.
on that. And to figure out what is going on there. What's keeping me from just spending that little bit of time. Just a little bit of time to set my day off right with Jesus.
Absolutely. And we got to ask the hard questions.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, especially following Christ. Like He doesn't let us, it's not an easy road.
No.
It's a hard road
is
full of sacrifice.
Right. And we got to embrace it.
Yes, we do.
Yep.
Yes.
All the hard stuff too.
Yes.
Even if you got to go without coffee.
Yes. Yes. That was so good. So do you have any questions for me?
Yes, I do. So what does your quiet space look like now versus when your kids were younger?
That's such a good question. I feel like I could ask you the same one back. But my quiet space now, I get to wake up in the morning. I set my alarm probably 50 minutes before my kids get up.
Mm-hmm.
I do get my cup of coffee, but I might be changing that up now. But I invite him in, like, okay, whatever you want to speak to me. And it is interesting how often God will use that, something I've read or something, I don't know, that He just sticks out, whether that day or throughout the week, where I'll be having a conversation with somebody and my mind will go, oh my goodness, I'm so glad. I just read about Jesus doing that, or it's just so cool.
Yes, that happens a lot.
Yes, and then to think, He's so good, and I could have missed out on seeing Him in that moment. But also, my kids are 11, 9, 7, and 5. So I just started having my 11-year-old set her alarm 10 minutes. So I used to have 50 minutes. So now it's more like 40 because she's setting her alarm. So the last 10 minutes, I'm starting having her get up and read her Bible for 10 minutes.
Nice.
And I will tell you, though, I felt like God was weighing on my heart, like, you should start creating that habit in Izzy. And it was back to your point. I don't want to give my time up with you. I don't want to invite her to be next to me. Right. Like, I need you. Like, she needs you, but like, I don't want to, because it is so special. But it's only been 2 days. I feel like it was relentless. And I finally was like, okay, we're going to set your alarm. And she has been so excited. Like, she runs down the stairs.
Oh, that's so sweet.
She has her action Bible. And she doesn't disturb me.
Yeah.
She doesn't. Which I feel like is God's little blessing.
That's lasting impact right there. She is going to remember that, and that's going to be a blessing. Yeah. That's so neat. And you too. That's so sweet.
Yeah, and because I wish I would have created this habit sooner in my life. Because everything you said, it is so good. It's so good. Did you have another question for me?
Yeah, well, kind of the same one with yours. What tips do you have for those that are struggling, or even not struggling, just to continue on with giving God your first quiet space?
That's such a good question. So I'm going to try, I think having the same place every day. I think you and I have even talked about this, like knowing like this is where I sit, this is where I have a place, my Bibles are already there, my highlighters are already there, so I'm not scrambling. Yes, in your haze when you wake up.
Right.
So I think having
without your coffee.
Yes, without your coffee. Yes. So same place, all set up. I also think having a notebook to be able to.
That's good.
Like the Bible's about God, so being able to put your observations about God in there. But also, let's be honest, nothing will distract you like your to-do list or all the things you have to do. So even just a pen and piece of paper, like, so you're not whipping your phone out, like, oh, I need to text Susie. Or like to even put your things that like, I will get to this and I'm not stressing about it while I'm trying to focus and be with God. So I think that's been really important. And I think just knowing that it's never too late. I think, like you said, every day is a new day. Yeah. And I think, and I think so often people try it and stop because they're like, well, I can't do it. Or, oh, I went a week without reading my Bible or a month, and they just give up. But it's every day's a new day, and every day with Jesus, oh my goodness, is millions upon millions of impacts being in his presence. And he'll take anything we give him. But I think just knowing that every day is a new day and it's never too late to start a habit.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's so true. Yep.
Because it's easy to get discouraged.
Yeah.
With ourselves because we are imperfect.
Right. So. We need him. I mean, we just need him.
Yes,
daily.
Yes.
Every minute.
Every minute.
Yeah.
Thank you, Susie. This was so good. And thank you guys for joining us. And to your point, we need him. And if you have a good quiet space, we just want to encourage you to continue doing it. And maybe like Susie, if there's something first that you're putting before it, maybe you check your calendar before you sit down. Maybe you grab a cup of coffee, like not in legalism, but in worship to him. If there's something that you could do to make it really your first fruits, like we want to challenge you to do that. But if you have never had a quiet space, we just want to challenge you 7 days. 7 days. Get up, spend time with Jesus, and see how it truly will transform the rest of your days. Thank you guys for joining us, and we cannot wait to catch you next time. Bye, Strong Roots. Thank you so much for checking out this episode of the Strong Roots podcast. If you enjoyed it, make sure to check us out on all our other social media platforms. And I want to let you know that I am personally praying that your roots stay strong.